Hello YouTube friends. It's about 9 o'clock at night and I've come for a walk just as the sun's just setting over there, that way. I've gone for a walk around the dam. I just brought Eileen up for a swim and she's walking back down again there now. It's not cold, but it's a lovely spring day, but it's a little bit chilly in the evening. I've just come round to sit round the other side of the lake like I sometimes do. Just listen to this. Of course they're all going to quieten down. Oh, no they're not. They're rooks. What a noise. Always arguing. There's hundreds of them up there. And they're all arguing with each other as they settle down to sleep. Very soon, as soon as the light fades a little bit more, it'll be completely silent up there. I've had a lovely day. I've had a lovely couple of days, because since I did that shop update and people have been across to the shop and bought bits and pieces, I've been sitting in Pink HQ writing envelopes and writing little notes to people. I've had a nice time. I'd just like to say thank you all very much. If you can hear me above the noise of the rooks. And the moon, there it is up there, obviously. It's just coming up to the full, be full soon. It's the flower moon, the full moon of May. It's also the Buddha's birthday. The Buddha was born on the full moon of May, about 2,500 years ago. It's true. There are lots of fish just rising to the surface of the water to eat the insects. Lots of insects tonight. But also today I saw lots of swallows about, and the swallows, I can't possibly photograph them, but they're zipping about on the water collecting insects. They're too fast for me to photograph. So there's a few swallows, quite a lot of mallard. So very soon I'm expecting to see mallard chicks, because all the mallard live on the lake. And then they, in the springtime, they all pair up and you can see the male and the female all walking about together. And then the female goes and lays her eggs and builds a nest. And the blokes are redundant and they all hang out together like an old boys' club. They're all sitting on the top of the dam sometimes, just kind of chatting. It's very amusing. And the girls are nowhere to be seen because they're busy incubating eggs, which takes about 28 days. So soon we should see mallard chicks. It's a shame they don't actually do very well here, because unfortunately the rooks sometimes eat them. But such is nature, you know, what can you do? Over the years I've raised a few mallard chicks that have been orphaned. That's quite a task, I can tell you. We had 7 one year. My son, John, rescued the eggs from it's a long story, but some trees were being felled in front of the house where I live. And John, who was about 8, had been watching these mallard nesting from a distance. He's a real proper birder, he always has been. Anyway, they felled these trees and he came running in. Mum, he said, they're felling the trees, the duck's gone and the eggs are there. And it was just like that film Fly Away Home, only much less exciting. So we brought the eggs in and they were still warm and the duck was nowhere to be seen. And we put them in the incubator, because we had an incubator then, I still have. And we hatched out 7 mallard chicks, ducklings. And we nurtured them like you do, and they grew and they grew and they grew. and they were very, very demanding. They lived in the house to start with, and they used to follow John all over the place, and we fed them on poultry layers food, and then we started feeding them on that mixed up with cat food because they really liked that. Well, they grew to be twice the size of all the wild ducks on the lake, and when they started to become a proper nuisance, waking me up at 4:30 in the morning because they wanted feeding, I just decided that we had to go cold turkey on them, and I just stopped feeding them. They're wild ducks, and I turfed them onto the lake, and I said no more food, no more gravy train here. So after a couple of days they realised they would have to get their own food, so then they started living wild on the lake. They used to swim all around the place, and in a little flotilla of 7 of them, I used to call them the Magnificent Seven, because whenever I stood on the top of the dam and called for them, they would stop what they were doing wherever they were and just come swimming like arrows straight to where I was in case I had any food for them. They're amazing. But then they just became wild mallard, which is what they were supposed to be after all. So I've come for this walk to have a look at the moon, to have a look at the lake, to give Eileen a swim. And just because I haven't actually been outside today, it's been me and Pink HQ all day. I've enjoyed it. It's been great, but I have missed a beautiful, beautiful day. And so there has to be some gardening happening soon. Okay then, guys. I'm going to go home now. It's so dark you can hardly see me. Good night.